Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. Hayya 'alas salah. Hayya 'alas salah. Hayya 'alal falah. Hayya 'alal falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Alhamdulillah nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lahu wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alaihi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man tabi'ahu wa wala. Amma ba'du fa ya ibadallah, usikum wa nafsi bitaqwallah wa huthukum ala ta'atillahi wa ta'ati rasulih la'allakum turhamun. Qala Allah ta'ala fi kitabihil karim, a'udzu billahi syaitanir rajim, wa ati'u Allaha ar-rasula la'allakum turhamun. My dear brothers, first of all, we praise and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all his blessings, and we also send peace and salutations upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family, companions, and all those who follow him doing good deed till the day of judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Indeed, successful are the believers who are humble-minded in their prayer. So in this ayat, Allah SWT laying the success in the khushu' in prayer. We have many wonder what is khushu' or how to achieve this khushu'. Because some people also misunderstand the word khushu' or the meaning of the word khushu' itself. Some people think of khushu' means you have to forget everything, you have to concentrate on one thing, which is impossible for human beings. Why? Because we cannot focus on many things at a time. That is why it's impossible to forget everything. We have to understand. So the Prophet ﷺ, when he led people in prayer, he was aware of what was going on around him. Even he heard like the baby crying, and he would, make his salat be shorter, so not to put more burden on the mother of the baby to such an extent. Meaning, khushu' doesn't mean you forget everything. No. By English, khushu' means humility, humble-mindedness. That's khushu'. So in salat, we are supposed to have humility or humble-mindedness in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how to achieve that? First of all, when the Qamah has been done or made, when we stand, we have to be aware. We stand in front of whom? Because sometimes we just stand and do the salat like spontaneously or automatically, and then we don't realize what we are doing. So first of all, when we stand, we have to be sure. And we have also to set our mind and heart that we are standing in front of our Creator, in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the first thing. Because when the Prophet ﷺ was asked by Jibreel when he came in the form of a human being to put a number of questions to him, among other things he asked, Mal ihsan? So what is ihsan? So he said that ihsan an ta'bud Allah ka'annaka tarahu fa in lam takun tarahu fa innahu yarak. So ihsan is that you worship Allah as if you see him. If you don't see him, so he sees you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always watching us anyway. So there's two levels of feeling the presence of Allah. First, as though we see Allah in front of us. So at that stage, at that level, of course, we are more, focused on what we are doing. In that situation also, we are afraid if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is displeased with us. We try to do our best how to stand like in this life we stand in front of people of importance or a leader or something like that. No more, because we are standing in front of the Creator. So we should be more well behaved. The one thing. Second level, of course we can't see him, for example, but we are certain, you are sure that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching us. Not only watching our outward body, but also he's watching our mind and our heart. In that way also, and then we can focus on what we are doing. Focus doesn't mean, we concentrate everything. No, because a lot of things are involved to achieve this khushu'. So when we stand in front of Allah, we are sure we stand in front of him. And then we try to be well behaved. And secondly, the scholars, the ulama also have recommended certain things also to do to keep our heart and mind in the right direction or the same direction. So there are three things which are involved in prayer. Number one is our heart and mind. They should be directed toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, our body should be directed to the Qibla in Makkah, to the Kaaba. And number three is our eyes should be directed to the place of sujood. When we pray, we make sure. So we don't look around, we don't look up, but we look down. These are the three things we have to remember to achieve this khushu'. And I said earlier, khushu' means humility. Because if you want to concentrate, for example, on the meaning of what you are reading, because we are human beings, you concentrating on that, and then you may forget the number of rak'ah. Or you could say number of times, you may forget other things. Or you may forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and so on. Because the essence of salat is to remember Allah. As Allah said to the Prophet Musa alayhi salam, وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِ. So perform the salat for my remembrance. But do we remember Allah in salat or not? There's another question. Because sometimes we pray, but we don't remember Allah. Well, we remember our business, our wife, our children, our plan. Okay. Or the student like the mathematical problem or something like that, they can solve in their salat. Then we don't remember Allah. Because the essence of salat to remember Allah. If we don't remember Allah, we are not doing salat. But we just stand and move or bow and put the head down, that's all. To gain more reward, we have to be deliberate in our salat. From the beginning, from the start. We know what we are doing. Okay. That's very important. Why? Because there is always distraction. The Prophet confirmed that when he said to the effect that when adhan is made or called, the shaitan will run as far as he can. But of course, after the adhan is over, in no time he comes back. And then when the Iqamah is made, the shaitan will run away again. Okay, what the Prophet said, what he will do? He come back. In no time, he come back, we say, Allahu Akbar, we start the salah, he come back. And started screening in our heart and mind the thing that may distract us. Okay, they start showing. Maybe they show like movie or something like that. Even when you are angry with somebody in salah, instead of remembering Allah, to keep remembering that person. You see? That is why you have to be careful when we do salah. We just direct all our heart and mind toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we can stay in track. Otherwise, we may be distracted. Because the Prophet said that. That means the shaitan will remind you of the thing you have forgotten before. It is why sometimes people, has lost something. When you start praying, I start remembering where it is. This is the proof that there is shaitan. Of course, shaitan is like an energy in our mind, our heart. You can't see, but it affects our heart and mind. It can control, shaitan can control our heart and mind. Can distract our heart and mind from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we stand in front of Allah, we try to humiliate ourselves in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we're standing, so we have to feel, to show Allah, oh Allah, this is my body. I am standing here to praise you or to thank you for this body. And then when we make ruku' or basin or we bow, Allah, I use this body, okay, for thanking you, to bow in front of you, to lower my body in front of you. And then when we go down to sujood, even more. To Allah, because you are the highest. It is Subhana Rabbiyan Ala, glory be to him, the highest. So my Lord, the highest. That means at that time, at that sujood, that the best way, the best manner in which we show him humility toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Because now we show Allah, the highest of my body, the head, now I put down to recognize that you are the highest. Because this sujood, that's one thing. Those other things are physically, as has been discovered through research, that all the movement in salat benefit our body. As we know, human being needs movement. If they don't move by force, they will create things like sports or gyms to move. Because our body have lot of joints need to be exercised. But in Islam, it is wajib, it is compulsory to move our body through salat. So when we bow, we have benefit. When we put our head, because the highest to the lowest level, that will enable our heart to pump more blood into our head, because our head is higher than the heart. So only in that position, the heart can pump more blood into our head. It is that physically. Okay. So in conclusion, to achieve this humility from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have, first of all, we have to be aware that we are standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also we are aware of what we are doing. And we are aware that Shaitan will always try to distract us. So we have to come back to the track or to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then that's all. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-azim. Wa nafa'nu iyyakum bima fihi min al-ayati wa dhikril hakim. Wa taqabbal minni wa minkum tilawatahu. Innahu samiun alim. Aqulu qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah al-azim li wa lakum wa li sa'iril muslimin wal muslimat wastaghfiruhu innahu al-ghafurur rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ملك الحق المبين. أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صادق الوعد الأمين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه بإحسان يوم الدين. أما بعد فيا عباد الله اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى إن الله ملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم ارض عن الخلفاء الراشدين المهتدين سادتنا أبي بكر عمر عثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة أجمعين. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم الأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره لنا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين. اللهم فقنا في يلحقنا بالصالحين. اللهم انصر إخواننا في كل مكان. اللهم انصر إخواننا في فلسطين على أعدائهم. اللهم دمر أعداءهم أعداءك يا الله يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم عليك بهم. اللهم خذهم أخذ عزيز مقتدر إنك على كل شيء قدير. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا وأخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. اللهم لا تسلط علينا بذنوبنا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.